When we're wanting something, anything in the world to change, I find that it actually is reflecting something that's inside you that hasn't been seen.
I mean, you see human beings that are on the verge of great discovery. You see miracles. You see people coming out of the depths of despair and depression and illness and sickness and addiction, rising. And then you see human beings who will criticize and complain and gossip and attack. And so I've learned to not embrace either one of the imposters, which is praise or criticism. You know, I don't run towards praise, I don't run from criticism, and I just don't deal in that area. Keep my attention on that which is real and keep moving forward.
The first thing to achieve is, why do you want to achieve it? Like, what is your outcome? Many of us walk into the room, even into the room when we're talking to ourselves, and they're not honest about the outcome. What is the outcome? Why are you going through the motion? Is it because society has told you that that's what it should be? Or is it that your parents always wanted that from you? Or is it that you have been neglected in some way and you're trying to please a bunch of people that you can't stand? Or is it that you want to change the world? Is it that you know that you being healthier is going to be able to be around in your family's life much longer, or you're going to be able to stop some social injustices? Like, what is your why?
When you have nothing is when you need to give. You know, if you're going to wait till you think you have something, you're never going to have something of any size or scope. There's something inside the human psyche that when you do what's right and you get outside of yourself, there's something that'll click for you. And also, you know, tithing is a perfect example. I don't know anybody, regardless of religious belief, who's tithed 10% of their income for a decade and not prospered massively. Do more, give more, and he said, you'll receive more, just how it works, and I found it to be absolutely true.
Putting the work in is the beauty of it. When I started, vanity was the goal. I think vanity is a perfectly fine reason to start something, it's fine. Over time, I fell in love with the craft of lifting, of learning about macros, of all those things. And I think if you find something you are meant to do, then yes, vanity or some number, fine. But falling in love with the practice of it, I think is a true pinnacle.
Most of the people I meet that really want to make money often have a major fear of not having it, which is weird because energetically you're putting out to the world, I'm scared of not having it, much more than I want it, right? Because I find that this is a weird thing to say, but when you really want something, you're not ready for it. You're not in the alignment for it, right? Like, let's say you're someone who believes who you are is someone who makes $20,000 a year. Like, that's in your story. You grew up that way. You heard sentences like money doesn't grow on trees or it's the root of all evil. So you have these deep-rooted beliefs that you're evil, right, if you do this. So you have this thing going, and then that also is what drives you, bizarrely. Like, you're scared of that, right? So I work with so many people, and if someone offers that person $1 million, that's death to the story of who they are. So weirdly, you're going to be in this position where you want to take it, but you're scared of it, right? Because it's death to who you are.
People have a tendency to care more about what other people are thinking about them than what their soul wants. And so they live from, what is so-and-so going to think of me, and what's my mother going to think of me, and what's the society's going to think of me. And inside, everyone has a destiny, bright, beautiful destiny. The soul is calling us to be great beings, to be great lights, to live fully. And oftentimes people will dim their light in order to fit into someone else's paradigm and end up with crisis, end up with disease, end up with prolonged sadness. When if you just step out of that, there's so much life to live. You see? So I think a lot of people are just run by what others are thinking about them rather than what their soul wants.
I would say that the capacity to strengthen and increase your hunger is the one common denominator amongst the most successful people. You know, most people are hungry to achieve a certain amount, make a certain amount of money, and then they get comfortable and relax, or to get a certain level of fitness and then they relax. Hunger is the ultimate driver, because if you're hungry, you can get the strategy, you can get the answer. If you can't model it, you can find it.
can't take control of my life, or I've heard people say, or act like somebody else is supposed to issue them power, or somebody took power away from them. And I realized that people always thought negotiations purely transactional. When you get to the table, I'm sitting across from you, right? And it's not. It's about building influence. Then it's transactional, and the transaction needs to be what's in it for the person across the table, not what's in it for you.
So if you go to a receiving vibration, the first thing you do is receive what's here. Like, it sounds corny, but we usually don't pay attention to what's here right now. And everyone watching this, if you really understand the highest truth of what's going on, we're all even. There's no, this person is better or less, and there's none of that. We're just this space that's here, right? Now from here, you have sky's the limit possibilities. But if it goes through the lens of who I am as this past story, this limitation, this person that tried to achieve it and failed, is someone who gets love by failing over and over, is someone who has to stay small.
Well, first of all, we have to be aware that mediocrity always attacks excellence. You know, it's kind of a rule. No one's attacking a couch potato. But the moment you start to walk toward your dream, and you start to break habits, you start to change relationships that no longer serve that dream, you start to be talked about. Now, many people are afraid of failure, which really means that they're afraid of being ridiculed.
We are so focused on making money. Almost every thought we have is, yeah, but I gotta get rent paid next month, and we're sacrificing our soul for it. And my question is, if we're, instead of throwing away our soul for the guarantee of the illusion of money, yet I can think of people that were broke, then made millions of dollars, and thought, what if I lose it? So they didn't feel safe. Or freedom, what if I lose this? So you're under the illusion that freedom is outside of you. Just by saying money equals freedom, you're implying you're not freedom.
Because people are growing all the time, and you may be in a situation where you have to forgive somebody who did something, but they didn't know that what they were doing to you, or whatever the case is, and or you want to be forgiven as well, right? And how can you have love if you can't forgive, right? And so whether it's with your family or whether with your friends or something else like that, the harbor and the hate and things of that nature will just eat you alive, I think.
We can say we're all here to reflect the face of divinity, or we're here to reflect the cosmos in a way that only we can. Everyone is here for that same purpose. And we all have different missions. Some people's mission is to teach, heal, inspire, uplift. You know, and we all have different missions, but every mission carries that larger purpose. How is my life reflecting the entire cosmos? Because I believe all of us have the entirety of the cosmos in us, and we're here to discover it, activate it, cultivate it, and set it free.
To me, it's about growth and it's about giving. Those are the only things that fulfill human beings. I always tell people, if you want to be happy, it's one word: progress. If you can make progress, and if your progress is not only within yourself, but it's actually doing something of value for more than yourself, you're going to be a damn fulfilled person.
When you let go of something, you're only stressed because your mind can measure what you will lose. It can't see what you'll gain.
Legacy is planting seeds in a garden that you'll never see.